Hello everyone. Welcome in. Let me know that you can see me and hear me, and we will get started. So I did a post for my private YouTube membership yesterday with some inner work prompts on, looking at different areas of your life and seeing if they are assets or liabilities. And I thought, you know what, this deserves its own whole topic, whole live stream. Good morning, everyone. So here we are today. So we're going to touch on this from many different angles, as I often like to do. Thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome in. We're talking about looking at our life decisions as either assets or liabilities. Let's do a little bit of a definition just to, obviously I'm borrowing this term from the financial community. And the simplest way to explain this is to look at it as, I'm going to use the word money, but you can really think of it as energy or time or anything, right? So assets in the financial community, assets put money in your pocket and liabilities take money from your pocket. So using that same principle, if we filtered our decisions that we make in our life, the people that we love it, let in or let go of, the jobs that we take on, the living situations, the relationships, all of that, if you start asking, is this putting energy in my pocket, in my being, or is this taking energy from me? That will give you, I think, the best indication of which direction you need to be moving in. Thank you so much for all the compliments, for all the birthday wishes. I love you. Thank you so much. Mina, whenever I watch your videos, my vibration changes positively. Even in one day, family dynamics become more pleasant. Beautiful. Lily, thank you for sharing that, because that's why I tell you that it's you. And I know some people get offended, but I will not sit here and have the most powerful creatures on the planet, the most powerful beings on the planet, tell me that they have no power. I won't stand for it. So I'm going to tell you the truth. You are powerful and you need to stop giving away your power. So when you are in your highest alignment, in your high vibration, you get your power back and you can start moving this physical plane. You can start changing those dynamics. Mina, I thank God for you. Thank you, babe. Have a beautiful birthday week, Mina. You're so loved. Thank you. Thank you. So think of the decisions that you have made and where they have led you today. Have they been an asset or a liability? Be honest. In my life, I had this tendency to make excuses for people that were actually huge liabilities in my life. And I made excuses for them because one of my core beliefs is that people are generally good and they're doing the best they can. And that's all great. But the fact is that I made excuses for them. I let them be in my life way longer than they needed to be. But then I realized that they became liabilities in my children's life. And that's when things changed, because I have a whole childhood full of stories where my parents' decisions cost me a lot. My parents' decisions were liabilities for me. So when I started noticing that these people weren't just, oh, they're just the way that they are, they're just going through a bad time, that they were becoming liabilities in my children's path, they had to go. And this didn't come from meanness. It didn't come from I hate you. It didn't come from resentment. It came from I love you so much and we are not a good match. I love you enough to let you go. Because the minute that I decided to have children, my liabilities became their liabilities, right? So now the game has changed. Now I have to make different decisions. I was feeling so icky this morning in my energy, and now I catch you live is exactly what I needed. Instant energy shift. Love you, Mina. Love you too, babe. I have some of both, but now I have more assets than liabilities. Yes. Hello, do you offer individual coaching? I do. However, the wait list right now takes us to summer of 2022. So I will be announcing sessions as soon as they open up, but guesstimating around summer of next year. Mina, you taught me that I can let go without resentment. Thank you. Still going into the embodiment of what I'm getting there. Exactly. And in fact, some people hang on to relationships, people, circumstances, jobs way too long. And they think it's because they're loving people, but they're not, because you cannot have resentment and love in you at the same time. Those two vibrations are very different. So when you are thinking that you are keeping people, you know, because of love, but you're resenting them and you're resenting the situation, that's not love. That is not love. So think of the people that bring your energy down, and then you take that energy while you're kissing and hugging on your kids. Or think of the place that you live in that's loud and unbearing maybe, and how it brings your vibration down, and then you can't put your best foot forward in the world. Those are all liabilities. Those are not assets. Okay, now I want to also talk about this from the lens of relationships. In yesterday's live streams, there was a lot of questions about in-laws and, you know, why won't he protect me? You have to understand that every single human being thinks that they are the main lead in their movie and everyone else is a supporting actor. So is your partner an asset to your story in your movie? And are you an asset to them? If you are going in there attacking their family and then hoping that they will protect you, they won't, because now you've become the villain in their movie. So you have to understand that we have to give people the experience they need to be in love and stay in love, and not the experience that we need, because there's a reciprocal when it comes to the polarity of the masculine and the feminine. Okay. So when you start filtering all of your decisions through, is this an asset or a liability? It changes everything. It changes everything. Okay. What do you do when your parent is a liability and you've had to secure your financial future for your child? It's difficult to let a parent go. So I'm not sure about the situation, so I can't speak to it, but let me give you an example of how I've done this for clients. So I've had clients in the past who, and actually have current clients going through this too, who have aging elderly parents who are going through different treatments or different things, right? Now, I found that my client started becoming their parents' child, nurse, doctor, cleaning lady, advisor, mentor, all and friend. And it was creating so much chaos in my client's life. And I've seen this through many clients because women tend to do this. And I asked all of them the same question: what role are you playing in your parents' life? Choose one and stick with it. You can't be everything to everyone. And I helped them coach through, and they discovered that they were playing at least 8 or 9 roles while still trying to be mother and wife in their marriage, or whatever, if they're single, in their job and doing all the other stuff. So when they decided, and all of them gave me the same answer, strangely enough, they all just wanted to be the parent's child. Said, okay, you now get to be a supportive daughter, but you don't have to be their doctor because you're not a doctor in the first place. You're unqualified. You can't be their nurse. You can't be their cleaning lady. So they ended up having to hire the appropriate people and energetically let go of the other positions that they had taken on. That's how you let that go. This doesn't mean you throw your parent out on the street. It means that you take the rightful position. So my answer, when my parents were going through stuff, you know, I've buried 2 parents already. So trust me, I understand this. But, you know, my dad wasn't ill before he passed, but my mother was. So I've seen both scenarios. And I decided that I wanted to be their friend. I didn't want to be their daughter. That role had just gotten too murkied up for me. I wanted to be their friend. So that's the role I took on. But I wasn't trying to be their nurse because I'm unqualified to be a nurse. I don't have the credentials to be a nurse. So that's how that works, because you become a liability in other people's life when you're trying to take on roles that you're not qualified to be. I would become a liability in my husband's life if I started becoming his business advisor or his job mentor, because those are not my roles. I'm his wife and I'm his friend. Those are the roles that I take in. So when you get clear on what your role is, then you stop being a liability as well. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying. I realized I was doing the same with my mother-in-law. Yep, that's why I tell you, there's two things I'm really, really big on in life, okay? Number one, personal responsibility, because when you take personal responsibility for the stuff you're bringing into the dynamic, remember, it takes two to dance, to do a dynamic, right? In a relationship, the dynamic is created by two people. So even if your mother-in-law comes in with some stuff of her own, if you are not bringing the other half, you cannot have that chaos. You can't. I've had people let me go too, by the way, because people that are severely addicted to drama, I become a liability for them. Because when they show up in front of me and they're like trying to get me to hook into their drama and I refuse to, I just stand my ground with my own energy. I've got a very strong frame at this point of doing so much inner work. They try it, they embellish it. I'm still not getting hooked. Now I'm a liability to their story because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that they are weak. I'm not buying that they're victims. I just stand in my frame. Then they let me go because I don't fit into their story. And so if you don't hook in to any person's drama, you become a liability. They have to let you go. They will let you go. You don't have to be the mean girl. You don't have to be the unloving party. They will deselect you because they're not a match for you anymore. I've been dropped by a lot of those people without having to do anything. It became their idea, which I love because then I don't have to do anything. This is very wise advice. Have done that with my parents and it does help everyone involved. Your parents, let me tell you a little secret about your parents. Okay, if they're even remotely healthy, okay, they want to die with dignity too. They don't want you to start playing their caregiver, their nurse, their doctor, their mentor, their parent. They want to maintain their integrity and their dignity. I know I do. I would be horrified if I put my children in that place where they felt like they had to be all of those roles for me. Mina, thanks for helping me to stay focused on things that really matter. Sometimes I feel I lose myself when connected to social media or when dating. It's like my energy drains. Right now, your frame isn't very strong, but as you do this inner work, I promise that you will become stronger and stronger. It's like your backbone will become so much stronger, your energy field, that other people won't be able to penetrate it that easily. They won't be able to plug into you. But you have to make that decision, darling. You have to be the one that says, you know what? I'm just not energetically available for that. Thank you for asking. You have to energetically get to that point. And then no one can drag you down because you're not giving people that kind of power in your life. You become an asset to everyone else that chooses to use you as an asset, see you as an asset. Thank you, Gilda. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you. Because everything else is just an addiction to suffering. And again, at the end of the day, remember that we're all solving for happy. We're not solving for misery. We're solving for happy. If we're all solving for happy, then I immediately let go of those belief systems, thoughts, people, places, and things that are going to get in the way of me experiencing happiness, or more importantly, my children experiencing happiness. You need to make that decision that you are not available for that anymore. And once you make that decision, you show up differently. One of the biggest container issues that I see in women that finally attract their provider and their amazing relationship is they start messing with their in-laws. They think their in-laws are messing with them, but no one can mess with you without your permission. And if they can, they would be that would be a crime. And then you can call 911. So you need to drop that's you. That's you giving people permission. Okay. And remember, ladies, we have our once a year. This only happens once a year for my birthday. We have the once a year birthday code going on right now, and it expires on December 1st. I'm gonna post it in the chat. It's Rich Babe. You get 22% off all of my programs. What type of phrases do you use to show that you aren't available for drama anymore? So I don't use very much language. Now I don't use any because people just know, because I will just make eye contact and keep my energy very loving and then let them say the thing they're going to say. And then they just walk away usually because I'm not falling for it. But some phrases that helped me on my journey and that have helped my students and clients were, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. It must be hard to think that way. I can see why you would think that. And then keep your peace. Because to me, happiness, peace, you guys know I talk about that Arabic word sukoon, is the most important thing. And I have a very high tolerance for, I don't know if that's the right word, but what I consider a problem in my life. So you guys know I've extensively studied evolution. So I am constantly very aware of the challenges that our ancestors faced. And I've also spent a lot of time in a third world country where I've seen real poverty and real problems. So when the Western world tells me their problems, I can feel compassion because you're feeling like you have a problem, but I've seen real problems to know that your problems don't hold up. Sorry, I'm going to be honest. And so what I consider a problem is so up there. And so I don't see these little things as problems. I'm sorry. So as long as my husband, myself, and my children woke up today, I don't have any problems. They're healthy. I don't have any problems. I have food to feed my kids today. I don't have any problems. That person saying something's coming out of that person's mouth, it doesn't even register for me. I'm sorry. And if you have other problems, go and spend some time in a third world country. Your perspective will change on what problems really are. And I know some people might find that statement, in the Western culture, we want to be recognized for all of our suffering. And then, people like me seem like we're not giving compassion or empathy. I can recognize your suffering and have compassion for that. But I'm also here to tell you that you are so much more powerful and you are cutting yourself short. Upgrade your problems. I'll be buying your Basic Babe program. I've been watching your YouTube, but now I'm ready to invest in your work, need that inner work. I'm so happy for you, babe. Life will never be the same. If you follow that work, if you follow the 6-step process, if you really embody this stuff, life will never be the same for you. You will become a creatrix. You'll stop being the person that's a victim of your circumstances. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I still get hooked when people accuse me or act like I did something wrong when I know I didn't, because you believe them. Here's the secret about triggers. You get hooked when you believe them. So this was life-changing for me. I used to be so easily triggered. Oh my God. I started at the bottom. Okay. What's that song? I started at the bottom. Now I'm here. I mean, I started at basic babe, like bottom of the barrel level of triggeredness. So when I realized that triggers mean that you believe them, everything changed. Because then I started seeing that I didn't get triggered when I knew for a fact that I didn't believe the person. So if a person said, you're a horse, that didn't trigger me because I know I'm a human being, right? I'm not a horse. But if they said, you're ugly, I got triggered, which meant I believe that I'm ugly. Do you see how that works? So every time I got triggered, I would energetically thank that person because they revealed something about my psyche. And everything changed because I started using other people as free therapy until I could actually go to therapy and do inner work. But I started using people. So people that were triggering me now became people that were saving me money. This is my second marriage. My husband still supports his adult children by giving support to his ex-wife. I'm still expected to pay 50-50. I deserve better. You are making me see the light. So questions for you, okay? This is just journaling prompts for you. You're obviously, you're not in a coaching container, so I can't properly coach you here, but questions. What would happen if you stopped paying? Journal on this. What comes up for you? What fears come up for you? Okay. What would happen if you stopped paying and investing that money into yourself? What would happen? How would you feel? Okay. How would the marriage evolve? Just ask yourself these questions and see what comes up for you. Okay. The Basic Babe program has helped me. I still get bothered when people comment about my daughter. So do inner work around that. Why? What I learned is that I used to get triggered when people made comments about my kids because I hadn't taught my kids how to deal with those kind of people, and they would have to deal with them. My question to myself was in my journal, if I died tomorrow, and these people were still there making these comments, did I teach my kids all the skills that they need to handle it? And the answer was, hell no, I didn't. That's why I was getting triggered, because I hadn't done my job. So then I started using those people as free therapy and training for my children. You see how that works? I will turn everything into an asset. I don't know how not to. And so I trained my kids. We started having inner looks and inner codes for when people would say certain things. And instead of me stepping in, I let my children handle it. And then at one point, it became a non-issue because my children know how to handle those situations like a pro, and I can die in peace because I'm not going to, I'm 41, hopefully I'll have a long, healthy life until my 80s or 90s. But what if my mom died, in her 40s, and we needed to fend for ourselves after that. So I need to teach my kids. That's why I was getting triggered, because I hadn't been a very good mom in teaching them these things. My triggers are opportunities to do some inner work instead of choosing to be upset. Exactly. Your emotions are your choice. No one can feel which way. If they can, then they have a lot of power on you, right? You better run and hide from that person because they control you. They control you because you have given up your power. Okay. So someone said, how do I deal with seemingly passive-aggressive boss relative who complains about everything you do? How to keep the cocoon there? Laugh. Every time they complain, have a mental count going and laugh. Enjoy it. Enjoy it so much that you wait for them to do it. That they let them become like a comedian in your life that walks around like giving you, like, think about it, like, we go to comedy shows. You have one for free. You have to pay money to go to a comedy show. You have one for free in your life. Do you know that laughter actually makes you healthier? You need to start tipping these people. They're making you healthier. You get to laugh. My health went downhill and I gained weight. Okay, so let me say this to you guys. Relationships are supposed to be an asset. If your relationship is making you unhappy, you need to stop, pause, and take a very good look at your life and your life choices. Is it you causing the suffering? Then change. If you think you chose the wrong partner, then you need to reevaluate what in you likes this. I refuse to stay in any relationship that is making me ill. Why are you in a relationship that's literally making you sick? I want you to journal on that. Because when I was getting remarried, my decision was either full provider becomes an asset to my life or nothing. I'm not desperate to be married or in a relationship that makes me unhappy. Sorry. So if your relationship is physically making you ill, take the 50% that you're giving him and go away, go and check into the nearest Ritz-Carlton and get your health back and let your partner know that I'm sorry, I'm in an emergency situation. My health isn't well. And if I'm ever better, I'll be back. That's what I would do. Okay. Hi, Mina. I'm 27 in a few days. I love your content. Happy birthday, babe. I'm a healing black sheep. And to be honest, I may not want marriage or children. Do you think I can still get value out of your coaching? So my coaching is, first of all, I don't have spots open right now, but my coaching is about inner work. It's not about relationships. It's about getting you to your dream life. I don't think that everyone should be married. I don't think marriage is for everyone. I don't think every woman should have children. I don't think every man should have children. What do you want for your life? To be honest with you, if I had decided that I didn't want children, I wouldn't have had any. If I had decided that marriage wasn't going to bring value to my life, I wouldn't have gotten married. I'm not solving for marriage. I'm solving for happy. There's a big difference. If you are solving for marriage, then you may get stuck in a marriage that isn't making you happy, but that might be your ultimate goal, and that's okay. But for me, I'm solving for happy. That's like my ultimate goal, right? So that's what I have, because that's what I'm going towards. If marriage helps with that, great. If it doesn't, bye. Okay. So what are you solving for in your life? That's what life coaches do, to help you solve for the thing that you desire. Okay. In 15 years of marriage, I had a very abusive husband, cheated on me, lied, everything, never treated me good. I came to parents' house, year gone with no contact. I have 2 daughters, 14 and 16. You're free now. Now you get to be happy. Now you deserve to be happy. We are not solving for marriage. We are solving for happy. For some of us, we decide that marriage will be a part of the equation. But you have to solve for your desire. Otherwise, you get into really weird, freaky situations where you don't even know why you're there, and they're certainly not making you happy. Hi, Mina. I'm a huge fan of your content, and I found that it also works with same-sex relationships. I have never been so healthy inside and out, and in control of the men in my life. I have many students that are in same-sex relationships, and the reason that this work translates really well is because it's inner work and masculine and feminine energy. Remember that even same-sex relationships need masculine and feminine energy. You cannot create a relationship or anything for that matter without both energies. So, and I want to take a moment to give a shout out to the people that follow me in same-sex relationships, because one of the things I really appreciate about you is that you are able to come to my work and I often use the word men, right? Or for masculine energy or he, but you're able to translate it. And I've never had anyone from, the same sex relationship community say things like, well, what about us? Or why don't you use this? Like they've never demanded, or like, I don't know, you guys have been so understanding and been able to translate the work. I get messages from them. I work with them, right? They're like, oh, I'm in a same sex relationship, but I use your work and I used it as a template to in my I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for forgiving me for the fact that I don't often use both terminology. I will say men for masculine energy and making it your own. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You are so great. Can't get enough of your content. You're my real guru. Thank you, babe. Haiti said I did buy one and the code didn't work. Was the code active at that time? Babe. So one thing, let me mention about the code, and Thinkific is, I was on the a private call with the vice president yesterday. I have put in a request that they change the way that the coupon code enters. Right now, there's a drop-down menu. So I actually have to send screenshots to people sometimes because they can't figure it out. And I put in a tech ticket and they got on a call with me to fix the situation. So I'm working with their development team to change it. So right now, the way it works, I don't know if it's going to show up. There's a drop down and menu. It says your order summary. You have to click on it and then the field shows up. And they promised me that they're going to change that. They're working on that. We spent an hour talking about it yesterday. But for now, just know that the field to enter the code is under a drop down menu. Okay. You are most likely to get your question answered if it's a simple question with as less story as possible. Just saying, it makes it easier for me. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you. What if your fully providing husband is triggering you with his lack of work-life balance? So no, use the art of feminine seduction and the art of emotional intelligence to make him change, but let it be his idea. Okay, so inspire him to change. Stop being triggered because that's useless. That's not helping you. And get really smart. So first tap into the gratitude of, I get to have an amazing life and I get to have a work-life balance because this husband of mine is providing for me. And have compassion for the fact that to provide for you, he doesn't have a good work-life balance. That's a sacrifice on his part. So tap into that gratitude. For a whole week, just tap into that. Okay. After that, start inspiring him. Use the 90-day relationship rehab to inspire him, right? Like it takes a lot to provide. And have compassion for the fact of what they take one for the team, right? Like when I tap into, I was getting emotional this morning when I woke up with extreme gratitude for this man that I've married. Like Irfan is the reason that I believe in love. Irfan is the reason that I believe in God. Because if this person exists, the sacrifices that he makes for me, for the unconditional love that this man has shown me and my children in the last 13 years, then God must exist. Because if this guy is created in God's image, then I believe in God. I came into the marriage confused about what I believed about God, but seeing this incarnation of humanity and seeing how capable of man is of putting his own needs, his own ego and everything aside to take care of a woman and her children, my God, that's what they do. That's what they do. So if one man like that exists, then I believe in love and I believe in God. That's why I'm here every day talking to you guys. So we need to get out of our programming and our ego and tap into that. Okay. How I inspired my husband to take better care of himself was by first tapping into that you love me so much that you are sacrificing your health to provide for me. And I'm not going to stand for that because I love you too. I love you. And you taking care of yourself is providing for me. Because I love my husband and I'm not going to stand here, watch him deteriorate his health for me, for providing. That's how they are. Remember that they have evolved to die for the tribe, to sacrifice themselves for the tribe. But when you're coming at them like they're doing something wrong, you're going to trigger their program against you. Okay. Mina, how do I truly get over the addiction of suffering? Sometimes I seem to miss it and do things to trigger myself. It's deep into our genetic code. You have to remember that, babe. We all have it. No one is immune. You think I'm immune? No. It's genetically programmed because we used to suffer for millions of years. We used to get really, life was hard. Life was really, really hard. Do you guys find it funny that when I think of our ancestors, I look here and I look here when I think of my kids? It's so funny. It's like past, future. Sorry, I had to just comment on that. I just realized I do that. I don't know why. Bilateral stimulation, maybe. So you have to realize that it's genetically encoded. So we have to use our consciousness to evolve past it. We have to use our consciousness. That's where the inner work comes in. Okay. Yes, their selflessness is awe-inspiring. Okay. For the past 13 years, my husband has gotten up every morning to go to work, even when he doesn't want to, even when he's sick, even when he's going through some stuff with his own family and his parents' illness and things like that, to provide for me and my children. So yeah, he's allowed to have some bad days. He's allowed to trigger me, right? That has nothing to do with him. That's my inner work. Okay. All the hows will result in me saying, do your inner work. Because when you do your inner work, you really know whether it's you or the other person. For example, you guys remember yesterday I gave you the example of my friend that had 3 failed marriages because of in-law issues. You guys remember that? I'm sorry, Cartier is texting me for my birthday celebration. I can't believe this gets to be my life. They're hosting my birthday party. I want to cry. And they're asking me, what refreshments can we provide? What do you like? I can't believe this is my life. Oh my goodness. Is this pinch me? I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh. All because of inner work. I just can't believe this is my life. What was I saying? Yes, I was telling you guys about my friend, right? And then when she finally met her provider husband, amazing guy, his mom and him didn't get along. She lives in a different country. She patched up her new fiance and his mom. So the mom moved into their house, now lives with them, and was planning on going on their honeymoon. Last time I spoke, we're not friends anymore. So I haven't seen her in a while. So if she had showed up on this live stream and she said right here, oh my God, my mother-in-law is triggering me. She lives with me. What advice would I give her? We would think that she's a victim, right? But you wouldn't know the backstory of her inner work, lack of inner work, and that she did this to herself by patching them up against my advice. Yes, we remember your friend with the mother-in-law. So she finally found a man that didn't have she had 3 failed marriages with the mother-in-law issue. I said, I strongly advise you against that. There must be a reason that he is not talking to his mom. No. As his wife, I should patch them up. She wanted to play the the good girl, the good wife, and now she's stuck. So what if she showed up and only told us about all the stuff her mother-in-law was doing to her and how her husband refused to listen because his response is, you did this? We would think that she's a victim, right? Tell me honestly. But is that the full story? Is that the full story? So that's why my response to a lot of your questions is do your inner work, because if she did her inner work, she would have seen what she did. And so then she would stop complaining. Now her options would be either live with the consequences of what she created or figure out a way to get her out. So there, someone's asking what refreshments. I don't even know what to say. They're hosting a huge brunch for me and my family for celebration of my birthday. I know I'm gonna cry. And so they texted me yesterday about all the brunch arrangements. And then today they're asking about the refreshments. Like, I'm gonna cry. Like, oh my God, like this, I would not even let myself walk into Cartier for years because I thought people like me don't shop at places like that. And now people like me get to have my birthday party there. Like, I don't even know what to say. Okay. Thank you for the birthday wishes. How she got out? She didn't. I don't know. I haven't had contact with her in the last 3 years. So I'm not sure what happened. I basically, so back to the Cartier thing. I said, you guys are too much. We will be happy with whatever you provide. Thank you so much. Very grateful. That's what I said. I don't know. I just feel very grateful. Whatever they provide, we will be very happy with. Hi, Mina. What would be your response reaction to the person who is your brother's wife and is emasculating him, mistreating all the family members and threatening all with legalities? If you think that your brother is a man, let him handle it. Okay. I've seen this repeatedly where mothers and sisters that think that their brother or son's wife is emasculating him, emasculate him by telling him that he's not being a man. So it's like, you're doing the same thing. Okay, now he's got 3 women emasculating him instead of the one. So the best thing you can do is love him through it and don't emasculate him yourself by letting him handle it himself. If you show up to fight his battles, I'm sorry, you're emasculating him too. Mina, how do I overcome the feelings of abandonment and loneliness from losing friends? I got an amazing job offer and lost friends in the same time frame, feeling very sad. That sounds like a container issue, because if you gain something and then lose something right away, you're resetting the container to a lower level. So the overcoming abandonment, overcoming fear of being cheated on, overcoming anything is let that thing happen. And then you have no choice but to overcome it. So how I overcame feeling abandonment was I realized that the fear of it kept that thing in my life every single day. So I let myself get abandoned, and then I cried for like 3 hours, and then I got over it. Yeah, thank you, babe. Yeah, I would pass by Cartier and Van Cleef for like 5 years and would not allow myself to step in because I believed that I wasn't worthy. Like, I wasn't the kind of person that can go into a Chanel store. I wasn't the kind of person that could walk into Cartier or Van Cleef. Like, I felt like, no, people like me don't deserve to be at places like that. And now they host my birthday party. Like, woo, girl, that's a lot, right? Inner work. By the way, I told them that story. And the essay that I was telling, he was crying. He was like, you are exactly the type of person that belongs here. Don't you ever think that. Okay. So let yourself go in, babe. I'm telling you, inner work changes everything because you realize all the BS programming that you have been carrying with you, that's not even yours. That's not even yours. What exercise can I do to expand my marriage container? There's no one exercise. I have a whole process in the Femme Fortune container course, but any inner work you do, any inner work expands your container. Any inner work that you do, because inner work is you examining your belief systems and noticing all the way you self-sabotage yourself. Anything can trigger container issues, babe, anything. We all have an emotional set point of what we think we are deserving, and we need to keep raising that game if we want more. I know this because at my level, I'm still doing inner work and still going to the next level every single day. If I stop, I'll become stagnant and then I'll start creating self-sabotage and all kinds of issues. I have a tendency of doing that too, by the way. I'm not immune to this stuff just because I'm aware of it. I do my inner work every day. Okay. Should women be guiding their husband's emotional intelligence since they say they bring the emotional world? You can only after you're in the high-end divinity level. You can't do it in a level below. Otherwise, you seem controlling. He will see you as emasculating him because you don't know what you're doing yet, because you can't barely control your own emotions, let alone someone else's, right? So once you're at high-end divinity, then the answer is correct. Yes, you can. What programs of yours do you suggest if I'm suffering with anger? Basic Babe Bundle. The 6-step process, and there is for all emotions. If you need a little bit extra help, I am also sponsored by BetterHelp. They're the largest online therapy platform in the world. I've actually worked with them myself, and they give 10% off to all of my students and clients. They've given us a link. I'll throw it in the chat for you. You can also use them. I highly, highly love them, especially because you can change your therapist if they're not working out. You can choose what they also do EDMR, like they're amazing. I settled for less financially, even though my husband is a good guy. This triggers me about my inability to see my self-worth. How do I course correct? So he is not your God. God is your source, right? So my husband was making a certain amount of money, and then I kept expanding my container, and then money started coming from other sources, and then he also got raises and bonuses. So I always ask God. I don't believe that my husband has to be my only source of income. And once I let energetically that thing go, money comes from everywhere for me. And then he got a raise too. And then he got a side hustle. And so now he makes probably, I'm guesstimating in the next, if he keeps going on the pattern, in the next 2 months, he will exceed even my business. And that's hard to do on a salary, right? But your income is not dependent on your husband. Your income is dependent on your inner work and your container to be able to receive more. Besides your programs, what other ways to do inner work? So my programs have many different styles of inner work. Therapy is another one. You can go to therapy. So my program isn't like one inner work. It's like hundreds of types of inner works put in those containers, but you can definitely go to therapy. I just put a 10% off link. This is the most affordable and to me, the best way to do therapy is with BetterHelp, because you do it in your living room, right? Like on phone, you have unlimited chat with them. Like you can't text your therapist in real life, right? Like they're not going to be texting you back and forth. You can do that with BetterHelp. Very interesting. My in-law issue started after hubby bought us a house and after I had a baby. I noticed that about you, babe. That's why I've been telling you it's you. Because if there is no way you can convince me that anyone living in your house is more powerful than you because you're the divine feminine. Your baby is still a princess right now. She's a baby. She's got the divine feminine, but she's a baby. Okay. Your mother-in-law is very much in her trauma and in her, we already know about her. You've shared with me. I know enough to know that she's not in her crone energy. She's in her trauma, right? So she's not the divine feminine. That leaves you because it's not your father-in-law or your brother-in-law or your husband. They are not the divine feminine. You are. So I already know that you are the most powerful field in your household. Have you always felt your husband dealt with conflict with others well on your behalf? Hell no. He blamed me for everything in the beginning because I didn't know that I'm not supposed to be blaming his family and friends because attacking them is attacking him. Nope. It all switched when I realized what I was doing wrong. His cookie cutter response for all of my complaints was, you probably did something first. Because I knew how to activate the provider and protector in him against myself. That's the response I was getting. I had to change that. Now anyone can go up to Irfan and say anything about me with proof. And his response is going to be, that's impossible. And he's going to be protecting me. Because I did my inner work, ladies. Mina, the way you spoke about your Cartier party provoked in me inner happiness and feelings for you. Is that the gut level emotional reaction? Yes. What a great question. First of all, thank you for saying that. Because once you get to a level when you can experience a high vibration through someone else's joy, that's when it's like at your doorstep. That's the universe's sign that you are fully ready to receive that yourself, or whatever you desire. Maybe you don't want that exact same thing. And so the lady luck is knocking, open the door. And secondly, yes, that's it. That's the gut level emotional reaction. Yikes, Mina, you really did learn all the things the hard way. I did. I started at the bottom. Sorry, I keep thinking, my husband always makes fun of Drake's song and like it's in my head and I keep thinking about that. I literally started at the bottom. So all of the 4 stages, basic babe, self-aware Barbie, $1 million babe, and high-end divinity, I am all of them, baby. I'm all of them. Sometimes when you talk about your husband, I can't believe it, really does show that you as the woman impact the relationship 100%. Yes. Yes. And the thing is, when I would share with some friends of mine things that Irfan was saying to me or doing to me at the time, they would be like, oh my God, he's a narcissist, this and this, you need to leave him. But I wasn't sharing with them the stuff I was doing to provoke that kind of response. I don't take it seriously when you guys say he's a narcissist, because people said that about my husband because I was only telling them one side of the story. Yeah. So, by the way, I'm thinking of bringing Irfan on tomorrow. I asked him about it a couple of days. He was like, yeah, I would love to come on again. So we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow's Sunday, right? I'm totally lost. Is today Sunday? I'm like, because of the long weekend. Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. I've lost it. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm thinking about bringing him on. Oh, attraction manifestors. Thank you to the $1 Million Babes private membership. I appreciate you, babe. Mina, you keep getting more and more gorgeous. Makes me want to put on some makeup on my face now. Thank you, babe. Okay. So can I share something with you guys? I had this whole story in my head. See, I'm telling you, that's why I keep doing my inner work. This is like recent. I had this whole story about two things going on in my head in the last like 6 months. One was, oh, it's hard for me to lose weight now because I'm 40. Then I was like, stop BSing, like, stop lying, like, stop doing that. Like, that's how I talk to myself. Like, how I talk to you is how I talk to myself. Okay. Like, I'm the same with everyone. And I was like, Mina, stop it, cut it out. And so I'm down 6 pounds now, 2 more to go because I quit doing that. The second story that I had in my head that was super annoying was, I don't know how to put makeup on. I don't know how to, like, I don't know, like everyone else knows how to do makeup. Like, I just don't know how to do it. And so I went and I bought a whole bunch of makeup. I want to show you guys my little setup. Oh my God. I'm going to make a whole video about it. No, they're still asking questions about what. Oh my goodness. Like that, I can't believe this kind of love exists on the planet. Seriously. Oh my goodness. They're still asking about the damn drinks. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna. Okay. So I was sharing with you. I'm so sorry. My birthday party is coming up over there, and they're like really going out of their way and texting and asking about all this stuff. Oh my goodness. So I bought a whole bunch of makeup, and suddenly, suspiciously, when I told myself to stop lying and quitting and stop with the stories, suddenly I knew how to put this makeup on. I didn't watch any YouTube tutorials. I thought about watching YouTube tutorials, but I was like, quit digging around and like freaking do it. Like, you know what you're doing, okay? You're 41, figure it out. So I did it, and like here I am. So I'm telling you, once you have, my mom used to start every sentence with us. Okay, this is TMI about my mom. But when she was mad, when we were being dumb, she would start every sentence with MF. I'm not gonna say it because then YouTube will demonetize my video. But fill in. You can read in between the lines. She will be UMF. This is how she would say UMF. Quit it. Quit doing this. Okay, that's how she would talk. So when I talk to myself that way, I quit it. I'm just like, oh, mom would be like, stop it, stop saying that, and just do it. And then suddenly I knew how to wear makeup. Isn't it funny how that works? Mm-hmm. Yes, it's true. We sometimes provoke the other side of our husband. Yeah, because the program is still there. That protector provider gene that he has could be used against you. Okay. Yes, my mom used to curse us out too. People would very much misinterpret her, but we knew that when mom pulls out the MF, you better listen because some gold nuggets are coming. Mina, I love your channel. I'm so grateful. I get to see the live video. Thank you, babe. Thank you. How do you energetically downgrade your husband, Mina, to create space for chasing and polarity? So anytime you want to remove someone out of your mental space or your psyche or energy, so when you remove him, you have to fill it up with something else. So you have to, it's like choose another addiction. Right now, you are energetically addicted to thinking about your husband, complaining about your husband, telling stories about your husband. Find another addiction. Get addicted to your level up. Get addicted to your inner work. Get addicted to losing weight. Get addicted to doing your makeup right. I'm like all about the inner work, right? So I replaced him with my own inner work. My mom curses too. And the thing is that with who else has immigrant parents? Because my childhood was so much in fight or flight all the time. Because when my mom would start talking and if there were people around, I felt like I had to micromanage what was going to come out of her mouth. because immigrant moms cannot be controlled. Anyone else relate to this? The stuff that would come out of my mom's mouth would be like, OMG, I would want to go hide under a rock somewhere, right? She wouldn't care who is there. She would just say it. What program of yours teaches you how to activate the protector gene towards you? If you follow the 90-day relationship rehab steps like a T, they're going to be very hard to embody at first, because you will notice all the ways that you emasculate him and turn his protector vibe against you. But if you can follow that, the more you follow it, can I give you guys a hint? I still struggle with some of that stuff. To this day, I make mistakes. It's not about not ever making mistakes or getting it perfectly. It's about noticing and moving in the right direction. Yes, mine is Jamaican. Yeah, you can, if there was a way I could have stapled my mom's mouth sometimes or put tape on it, I would have exercised that right. Okay, you never knew what was going to come out. You just prayed to God. My mom threatened me once. This is a time in my life where I have made a new friend, and she wanted me to do something and I didn't want to do it. And she was like, fine, then I'll just come out topless in front of your friend and dance. I did it. I did the thing she wanted me to do. Okay. That was the kind of stuff that came out, because you couldn't take that as a joke, because you just never knew. You never knew if she was going to pull that out. Okay. So yeah. You guys can relate. Yeah. Hashtag first generation problems. Yes. Yes. You never know. So you just believe them. Mina, how do I handle my husband who has problems with me going out by myself due to insecurity? So if you really want to, do it, and then he'll get over it. So every single time I've done something that's been really uncomfortable for my marriage, my husband has gotten really mad, really triggered, and then it became no big deal. Anytime you do something new in your relationship, when you're shifting an old pattern, assume that people will get mad, because they will, because they're used to a certain level of comfort with you. And then once they're over it, that becomes no big deal. They get used to it. My husband was the same way, by the way. Do what you need to do and get him out of your head and get out of his head. That's codependency, right? Like, you get him out of your head, be a grown woman and do what you need to be doing. And keep your energy warm with him and your boundaries firm. And then he'll catch up. He'll realize that if he wants to stay with you, then he's going to have to upgrade himself. You have to give people the grace to meet you at your level when you change. You have to understand that. Mina, what to do with urgency energy when we are wanting something to happen quickly? Google the lottery curse and watch the documentary. And then you'll be like, God, please don't give it to me quick. Give it to me when I'm ready and I have the container for it. You'll be begging God to slow it down. Watch that documentary. I love you when you talk about your mom. That's how I keep my mom's legacy. That woman, she was a whole nother level. This is me keeping her legacy alive. Okay, so thank you. She was a whole character. Yes, I can relate 100%. All of you guys, yeah, because you know those immigrant parents. You better keep your mouth shut and keep listening to them. Anyone agree that they are the most politically incorrect group of people on the planet as well? I think I said more times than any other statement this statement. Mom, you can't say those kind of things in the United States. Anyone else relate? Just Google the curse of the lottery. You'll find the documentary. I saw it like a decade ago, so I don't even know if it still exists, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. My husband irritates me so much. What should I do? Inner work. Why did you marry a man that irritates you? Or maybe he's so good that he's irritating your container. We don't know. So you have to do the inner work until you figure that out. Yes, totally. Same with Greek moms. Yep. And she got away with it too, because like people knew that, oh, you know, she was an immigrant. Like she just doesn't know. She said all kinds of things. LOL, I just said that to my mom last week. You guys get me. See, you get it. Like, mom, you can't say that's pretty sure that's illegal in the United States. Don't say that. Mom, you're gonna offend someone. You can't say that. That was like the number one thing I said to her all the time. But people actually loved her. Some people were triggered, let's just be honest. Some people loved her for it because she was honest. She just told you like it was. As time goes by, I realize how right mom was and still is. Yes. Yes. I wish that my mom could see how much I valued her advice. I didn't at the time. That's the thing. She has no clue. I mean, hopefully she's watching over me and she can see it now, but she has no idea that her advice to me, her and my dad's advice, not only changed my life, but it changed yours too. And I wish I had the common sense to have listened to them earlier. So I could have given them credit. I have two core beliefs that I stand by all. Like this is like so deeply ingrained in me. One is personal responsibility. Two is give credit where credit is due. Because I think not enough people do it. Not enough people give credit where credit is due. And my parents, they're very busy. They're very distracted. Their decisions caused a lot of harm in my life. You guys know that. But at the same time, they loved me very much. And the advice that they gave me was life-changing when I decided to take it. My mom was from Karachi. She passed a long time. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the comment. Let me see if I can find it. Where did it go? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom. I'm sorry, for some reason I lost that comment. Maybe you took it back. Hi, Mina, your work has completely transformed my life and relationship. I want to start creating content on femininity in relationships, but feel imposter syndrome as I'm only 25. Any tips with this? Yes, feel the imposter syndrome and do it anyways. I used to feel that too. And then I decided that I get to be the imposter and I get to be me and it's all the same thing. Just do it anyways. Thank you, Miss T. You know, parents mean well, they do the best that they can, but they're also human beings. So I realize that now. They don't have the luxury of inner work. I've said this to you before and I'll say it again. Inner work is luxury. Immigrants don't have that luxury often because they're busy providing and surviving, right? I can't imagine going to a new country where my education and my language and everything is outdated and like having to make it and feed people back home. And so like, I totally get it. Guys, again, the Rich Babe code gets you 22% off and it's once a year, active until December 1st. Yes, agreed. Would be great if you can do video bits of your Cartier party. So I was thinking of, so here's my dilemma. I want to film it for my other channel where I post my vlogs. And the dilemma I was having is that I also don't want to be ungracious and like be on my phone the entire time. So I was telling my oldest son, I was like, if you could film bits and pieces, I don't want to be like pulling out my phone and filming when they're like doing all this stuff for me. It feels very unladylike and ungracious to me. So he was like, okay, no problem. I got you. So I'm going to have him try to film a little bit here and there and then see what happens. Okay. Oh my God, Renelle, thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate you. I just got the notification. Thank you. She said happy birthday. I appreciate you so much, babe. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys. What I wanted to say was my mom was from Karachi. She passed years ago. I feel she sent me a golden nugget. She led me to you. Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm sorry about your mom's passing, and I'm very, very familiar with Karachi. That's where I spent a lot of my childhood there. My mother was actually born and raised in Lahore, but she got married in Karachi. And yes, I'm so happy to hear that. My other channel is called Million Dollar Babes. It's actually linked in the description box of this video, I'm pretty sure. Today is my 6-year wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and hubby. My husband got me Dior lipstick. I'm not able to accept the fact that how can I use a $38 lipstick? It's too much. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The thing is, here's what you have to understand, babe. Money is an arbitrary line. There was a time in my life where I thought $1 was a lot, and then the 100 was a lot, and then 1,000 was a lot, right? I don't even think $1 million is that much money now. So I'm saying this because your perception of money changes the more you grow. $38 to be on a goddess's lips, the lipstick just got upgraded to be in your hands. Okay, you have the lips of a goddess. Like, that lipstick is lucky to be in your life. It's you are the goddess. $38, that's nothing. Okay, that's nothing. Thank you, Renelle. I really, really appreciate that. You're so sweet. Where that, yeah, someone said he got more than $38 out of your lips. Exactly, exactly. Let's see what else they're saying. How do I stop my husband from sending money back to his parents? His family, his parents are taking advantage of him and using his money to support their 2 other sons and their family. Oh God, that was like the story of my parents. That habit of my parents destroyed my childhood, but I feel you. The thing is that there's nothing you can do. One thing you can try is you can spend more money, increase your expenses, but don't ever complain about it. He needs to think it's his idea not to send. The truth is, the reason I say that there's nothing you can do about it, because my mother was dying of cancer. She was walking with a cane. Somehow she could barely stand. Like, my dad had to take her to the bathroom in her last year. Somehow she managed to sneak out of the house and still send money to her family back home. My dad found the Western Union receipts after she passed away. So it was her money. And her and I fought a lot in my early 20s about it, because her doing that behavior and trying to save the world is the reason that I was sexually molested multiple times in my childhood. So I had a lot of anger towards that behavior of hers. I fought with her. I gave her a piece of my mind every time I could. She didn't stop until the day she died. The only thing that got her to stop was death. So I have accepted that that was her money. It was her life. That was her family, and it was her right. And I have no business telling a grown woman how she should be spending her money. So that's how I accepted it. Okay. What did you get from Sephora? I got a whole bunch of stuff from Sephora. I will do a haul on my other channel. Irfan bought me all of this. He's so sweet. So I was buying all this new makeup, and like my countertop was getting all chaotic, and I don't do well with, like, I need things organized a certain way. You guys know I can't deal with decision fatigue. So he got me these really beautiful clear acrylic, I think they're called, makeup organizers. Oh my God, it's so amazing. And so he got me these 2 units. They're so gorgeous. And then yesterday I bought more makeup. And so last night he was like, I have another surprise coming for you. I added another thing. So let me show you guys. I added it to my Amazon store because that's where he got it from. Let me see if you can see it. Can you see that? I don't know if it's going to show you. I'll post a picture in my stories later. And so he ordered a third unit for me because I bought more makeup. So once that's there, then I'll do a whole video. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that on my other channel for sure. This reminds me of my father's family. We're very money hungry. The thing is, my mom had me sending them money over too when I started working for many years. Because their needs were just, it was like never ending. And so she was sending from her paycheck, she was sending from my dad's paycheck. And then when I started working, she started having me send them money. Then at some point I stopped because, you know, I became the minute I became a mother, it was like, okay, it's not about me anymore, right? Like I need to make better decisions for my son. And so when she passed away, her relatives called me and I thought they were calling me to give condolences and to speak to me in that way. They were asking for money. They were calling to make sure that I was going to continue sending them money. So I hung up and then I never spoke to them again. I can't do that whole thing. I have my kids of my own. I can't repeat that generational cycle because I've got children of my own now. And anyone that I refuse to talk to, if they want to, they have to go through my husband. And you guys have seen the nice side of Irfan, okay? When he's in his provider protector mode, especially for me, you don't want to know him. So that's kind of how it was. And so they got the picture loud and clear. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, you worked at Sephora for 8 years? Oh my God, that must have been hard, right? You want to buy everything? My family back in Chechnya, is it? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. It was asking my mom for funeral money. I didn't even know their names. Yeah, I mean, I have so many stories. I had an aunt that had the same surgery 8 times, and my mom sent money all 8 times. And then I Googled the surgery and realized that that kind of surgery you can only have one time in your life. But anyways, that was my mother's business. She's a grown woman. That's what she chose to do with her money. Mina, yes, as an immigrant, that is a problem that plagues my community too. Some get mad when you do not have the money. Yep, I let people get mad because when people get mad at me, they only get mad once. They can stay mad. But if I'm having to keep doing it, it's like a constant energy drain. So there's a saying in my language, I don't know how to translate it. I will try. Help me out. Pakistani Indian community, help me out. So the saying is something to the effect of that you can be bad every day or you can be bad once. So no matter, so example, my mom would send money every time and every time it was never enough. They want more and right. So she was bad every time. I was bad once. I said, I'm not sending money to anyone. Bye. Okay. But I don't have to deal with that problem constantly. Does that make sense? I know some of these translations don't like, I'm not good at translating between the languages, but this is why being lingual changes you because there are some things in a different language that are so different in paradigm that you can't even explain them in a different language. And that's what we're explaining to our kids, that being multilingual makes you so much smarter because you have access to different paradigms of information. Thank you for the super chat, coach. She said, as I expand my container, I'm more quiet with my provider husband. He notices and is coming more closer. You are right on track. You are right on track. Yes, Sika, that's it. Sika, that's the saying. Yep. So my mom was bad every time. I was bad once. It makes sense to me. Okay, good. I'm so glad that it's you guys are getting the vibe of it. I wish my husband was that protective like Irfan. Well, mine was the same as yours. Remember, when I changed, he changed. Because that's a evolutionary thing. They protect what they consider theirs, right? But when we're attacking them, we lose the gut level emotional control. You can gauge if you have that gut level emotional reaction by your husband by the way he treats you. If you've lost it, get back in the game. I lose it too sometimes, by the way. The minute I lose it, all I have to do is get back on track. This toxic money giving is keeping a lot of people broke. Miss T, this is so important what you just said here, because here's what I've been thinking. Okay. My mom's been gone for 11 years. They're still surviving. So they figured it out somehow. Okay. Yeah. You're basically an enabler. That's what I used to say to my mom. But anyway, she wasn't going to change. I have no idea. My dad couldn't figure it out either because he was with her all the time. He's like, I take her to the bathroom. How did she sneak out of the house to send this money? My theory is, and I don't know if this is true or not, because I don't know how Western Union works. My theory is that all the people that would come visit her friends and colleagues and things like that, I think she had them do it. That's my theory, because she could barely walk. That's my theory, that she had other people's, she probably snuck money in their hands and they probably did it. How do you get it back? The gut level response. Get back in your feminine power. Start practicing all the things I've outlined in the 90-day relationship rehab. Get back, if you have the Intoxicate Play Shop, it's in there as well. Get back in the game. Shift the dynamic again. You are so powerful that the energy that comes out of you is the energy that either pulls him or repels him. If you notice that your energy is triggering him or repelling him, go back into your room, journal for 2 minutes, know all the strategies that I've taught you, get back in the game, and then you're back game on. Game on. I can shift it within seconds now. It used to take me days before, then we went to hours, then we went to minutes, now I'm down to seconds. I feel like it's in and out with my husband. Sometimes he protects and provides. Sometimes it's the opposite. So Lucy, you just told me something about yourself. You're in and out with your inner work. When you can stabilize, and that's okay, we all do it that way. When you can stabilize your energy and the energy coming from you, he will stabilize. Thank you for your time, Mina. How would you navigate at a job where your boss is very unorganized? What other people do doesn't impact me. I would make sure that I'm super organized. And if I couldn't deal with it, I'd quit and get another job. I actually am not a job person. I do best when I have my own business because I can't do the whole job thing. I don't like depending on other people. I don't like people telling, I'm a Sagittarius, so there you go. I'd start my own business. I control the flow of my relationship using emotional intelligence and by remaining feminine. It works. 110% it works. Yes, immigrant moms cannot be controlled. They can't. I tried, wasted a lot of time trying. Wow, Mina, that's so true. I really am. Once you stabilize, he will stabilize. I promise. Once you stabilize, he will stabilize. That's why this is so important. Maybe, maybe Gloria, I'm not sure. Hi, Mina, what course would you recommend for someone who has never owned a business but wants to start one? So do you need more masculine container or feminine container? So masculine container would be how to actually do it. Feminine container is the energy alignment, right? Like believing you can do it and like the manifestation. If you want both, the CEO Boss Clean would be the best program. But if you need just like the masculine container portion of it, I would recommend, there is still some feminine stuff in there too. Obviously, it's my feminine business mastermind. Yeah, I can't believe how much Shira Seven's advice is similar to my mother's. That's why I love her so much. She doesn't say anything that my mother didn't say. It's almost freaky to me. It's almost creepy. It's like my mom reincarnated into that woman. I don't know. It's weird. How do I do that practically? I feel like I get comfortable. Decide and have a masculine container for it, a time and a space. Mina, did you apologize to your first husband in the process of forgiving him? I hear you talk about accountability for growth. Is it necessary for those who hurt us so badly? I don't typically contact toxic people in my life. For example, I went through a process of forgiving the men that molested me and the men that raped me. But I'm not going to contact anyone. So my forgiveness technique is an energetic forgiveness where you let them go so you're not poisoning yourself with that stuff. I will never contact anyone from my past. That's just opening a can of worms. So that technique is in my Basic Babe bundle in the Love Light meditation portion. Hell no, I won't be contacting anyone toxic. No sovereign woman can be controlled. Exactly. Exactly. I love that. Hi, Mina. Can you talk about the difference between the crystalline course creation and feminine mastermind? I'm wanting to start a course from scratch. The crystalline course creation is just about creating a course. So it's not going to talk about like the other business aspects. The feminine mastermind has a module on course creation, but it also talks about the other stuff. So proud of you and how far you have come. You inspire me. Thank you, babe. You and Shira Seven have been the main two level up ladies I resonate with. Beautiful. I wish we could just forget those awful things that happened in the past. It makes no sense being forced to live with that memory. You're not forced. That's a decision. I have very little memories of those things, especially after having EDMR done. EDMR just releases and releases and like my son says that it's my superpower, my ability to forget, but I made that decision. Your subconscious knows how to block out the things it no longer needs anyways. So you can make that decision. Is the Arouse His Love Masterclass the same as the Intoxicate Play Shop? It's not the same. It's completely different content. The Play Shop is just more like, it's a shorter thing. It's just a masterclass. The Intoxicate is a little bit more savage and a little bit deeper. Intoxicate is definitely more savage. Think of the Arouse His Love more like the light feminine energy and the Intoxicate more of that dark feminine energy. That's the way I'm thinking. It's a little bit savage, but it works. And I'm assuming that you guys are using that information for good, because if you're following me, I don't believe that people that follow me are evil or would use it for harm. I'm going to get all your courses, enjoying all the ones I have now, life-changing. Thank you, Lucy. You guys, I also have a university bundle and the code applies to that. So the university bundle is my entire curriculum, like everything that I have on my website is in there, and it's 47% off of the actual price if you bought everything individually. How do we start working on the masculine containers? I really need structure to get things done. That would be the self-aware Barbie activated program. That one gives you 12 different containers for your life. I'll throw that in the chat, and you can use the Rich Babe code right now until December 1st. I only have this code once a year, and it's active right now for my birthday. I can't find the Intoxicate Play Shop for some reason. That's interesting. Does anyone else, let me see if I can find it quickly. For you. It is, that comes as a bonus with the hypnotic sex program, but you can definitely buy it separately. Here it is, babe. I just posted it in there. How do you set boundaries without seeming masculine about it? I want to set limits and remain feminine. So feminine boundaries are all about energetic boundaries. You decide that you're no longer available for it, and then don't show up for it, and then people recalibrate to your new boundaries. That's how I do most boundaries. I realized that most boundaries were my problem. It's because I kept complaining about it, but like doing it anyways and showing up for it. Does the code apply if you pay installments? It applies to the first installment. That's a good question, Miss T. So if there's a payment plan for a program, it will take it off of the first one. Is the container like the energetic ability to hold? So it's both. Yes, Amanda. So I use the word container two ways. So let's dive into that. The first way is actual container. Actually, three ways then. Okay, no, it's two. Actual container. So for example, if I said to you, I want to lose 5 pounds. There's no container around that. Somewhat, I said 5, but like I didn't say when, where, what am I gonna do, right? So that's the container setting. But if I do all of that and I still can't lose the weight, I lose it and gain it back, lose it and then gain it back. Now I'm having an energetic container issue. So there's two things. So example, my website is my business's masculine container. If I didn't have the website, I would just, without the masculine container, most businesses are just done starving artists because they have the offering, the feminine offering, but they don't know how to create the systems to actually take a client through the process of buying the thing, right? So that it's two different ways that I use it. So one is structure, like an actual physical structure, and one is an energetic allowing of being able to allow that thing in your life. I have started doing your money course, which I bought in April. Now I feel so ready to do it. I've noticed that too. Some people tell me that they will buy certain courses and sometimes do them right away. And sometimes they have to be ready to do them. Sometimes they'll do them 3 or 4 times because they're at different phases. So do it the way you need to do it. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you for the birthday wishes, babe. What structures do you have in your life that supports your feminine? Oh my God, my entire life. So one is marrying a masculine energy man. He's a very huge container in my life. Second is my rituals that I have and my inner work practices that I do every single day, grounding, journaling, meditation, affirmations. Because if I don't have a time and a space to do those things, that's the masculine structure, then I will say, oh, I'll do it later. And then later that doesn't happen. And then I get in my masculine. So I would say all of those things. Also eliminating decision fatigue. I have systems for how I dress, what I eat, how chores and things are handled in my household so that I don't have to think a lot about it. Do you have a special price for developing countries? I don't, because I give all this free content, and also I have clients from every developing country you can imagine. And once they follow the advice of my free content, they're able to manifest the money. So I would be holding you back if I gave you a discount in that way, because of what I've seen women do. They will follow my free videos for years, build their container, up level, use all the free content I'm giving them, and then they will come out of the most horrific developing country situations you can imagine and manifest the money. So I don't want to cripple you by doing that to you. Watch the free content, follow the advice, and I have seen so many women do it now that I'm so confident that you can do it. If you don't stick with what you're decided to do you feel any guilt or disappointment? No, because I'm no longer in the self-aware Barbie mode. That's a self-aware Barbie thing. So when you're in fight or flight, you punish yourself that way. Once you get out of that state, it's like, oh, okay, I'll do it later. Like it all is in flow. You do it when you do it. When you don't, you do it then. Like nothing will derail me at this point because of my high vibration. Other than the real problem things that I told you. And that comes down to my family. My family is everything. And I believe that my vibration is what attracted my family. So I will not let anything or anyone come in between me and my vibration, because that's what manifested my family. Okay. All right, ladies, I will let you guys go. I know this has been really long. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to go have lunch with my family. We usually do a big brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Once again, Rich Babe gets you 22% off. All programs expires December 1st. And once the code stops working, it means it's expired. You know, you're such a blessing for all of us. Thank you, babe. I love you guys. Go and enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Start that inner work, ladies, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.